Look who's here. Hey, you know what's crazy? I just asked Shane who's the fastest guy he ever...
Floyd Mayweather, though, is a legendary athlete. What makes a legendary athlete is the one who wants to compete. He's notorious.
Have you ever wondered what it feels like to slug it out with the most fearsome names in boxing history? Can you imagine standing toe-to-toe with legends who redefine power, speed, and ring IQ?
he ever fought. And Oscar, he said that you were so fast he didn't see the punches when you guys fought. Wow. What did you say? The hook was like a...
From the moment he burst onto the scene, Shane Mosley made it clear he wasn't here to collect participation trophies. He strode into arenas exuding swagger and confidence, fists humming with kinetic energy, and a desire to carve his name into boxing lore. Mosley's rise through the junior welterweight and middleweight ranks offered a front-row seat to his transformation from hungry challenger to bona fide superstar. Along the way, he faced four icons representing two generations: Oscar De La Hoya's razor-sharp technique, Floyd Mayweather's near-mythic defense, Manny Pacquiao's blitzkrieg assault, and Canelo Alvarez's raw power tempered by cunning. Each clash tested a different facet of his game: precision under fire, mental resilience, foot speed exchanges, and the ability to withstand punishment from a younger, hungrier foe.
jab.
I didn't see his punches because, they were rattling my brain.
Hey, he's open for an exhibition.
As cameras circled and commentators buzzed with anticipation, one question haunted every post-fight interview: who was the toughest boxer Mosley ever faced? Today, we'll dive deep into those epic battles, exploring the tactics, the momentum swings, the locker room mind games, and the moments that forced Sugar Shane to dig deeper than ever before. By the end, you'll understand why Mosley's answer surprised even the most seasoned fight fans, and why it cemented his legacy as one of the bravest warriors ever to lace up gloves.
Open for an exhibition with Shane? What, you have a six-pack?
I don't want to get my ass kicked again.
Shane Mosley's first collision with Oscar De La Hoya on June 7, 2000 at the Staples Center felt like witnessing two shooting stars collide. De La Hoya arrived wrapped in golden hype, boasting slick footwork and pinpoint accuracy honed by years atop the amateur and pro ranks. Mosley, meanwhile, carried the swagger of an ascendant force, his jab snapping like a whip, and his southpaw angles forcing De La Hoya to rethink his usual rhythm. From the opening bell, Mosley unleashed a relentless pace, weaving off the center line and peppering De La Hoya's ribs with stiff left hooks that drew gasps from the crowd. The champion tried to reset with distance jabs, but Mosley's feints and head movement blurred the target, turning simple straight rights into knockout opportunities.
Shane's too big. He's got me.
Always a legend.
Round after round, Mosley's pressure grew more suffocating. He turned De La Hoya's defense into a labyrinth, circling to the offhand side and slipping counters with uncanny reflexes. When De La Hoya attempted to rally, Mosley clipped him with body shots that sent tremors through his torso and rattled his guard. By the championship rounds, De La Hoya's face bore the toll of Mosley's attack: bruised cheeks and a fading spark in his eyes. Mosley, fueled by adrenaline and belief, maintained that intensity until the final bell. The unanimous decision win stunned the boxing world, elevating Mosley into superstardom and marking De La Hoya's first clear defeat in a decade.
He's doing good, you're doing good. Shane, you sound good, you look good, you're happy. But it's good. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you in the mix.
Their rematch on May 3, 2003 at the MGM Grand flipped the script. De La Hoya entered smarter, his camp dismantling Mosley's tempo-choking strategy. He kept Mosley at bay with long jabs and slick lateral movement, picking shots from range and timing Mosley's lunges. In round 9, De La Hoya unleashed a blistering body-head combination that forced Sugar to clinch for dear life. Mosley, usually so sharp and confident, looked uncharacteristically aware of each breath, each step, each feint. Though Mosley retained his title via a controversial split decision, this second meeting underscored De La Hoya's adaptability and Mosley's vulnerability when his signature pace was neutralized.
Well, obviously at that time of fighting, the best was Mayweather. It was more harder to hit. He was just harder to hit.
When Mosley squared off against Floyd Mayweather on September 1, 2007, headlines screamed offense versus defense. Mosley arrived as the embodiment of aggression, a battering ram intent on punishing Mayweather's torque-driven body shots and lightning-fast combinations. Mayweather, however, wove around the ring as if choreographed by a scientist, each shift calibrated to turn Mosley's power into wasted energy. From the first jab, Mayweather's shoulders rolled, wrists flicked, and legs pivoted, turning Mosley's thunderous hooks into air swings. Every time Mosley closed distance, Mayweather snapped out counters to the temple, sneaky uppercuts that seemed to appear from nowhere.
Hit, and he was just more of a, he had the defensive thing, but he also had good offense too as well. Mayweather was more of a complete fighter.
Mosley tried to cut off the ring to corral Mayweather into mid-range exchanges where his punching power could shake nerves. But Mayweather's footwork transformed the canvas into a defensive fortress. He glided to the ropes, let Mosley overcommit, then exploded with twin left straights that felt as precise as scalpels. By round 8, Mosley's jawline showed new bruises, his right eye half shut, yet still he pressed forward, refusing to surrender. Sweat and spit flew as each man tested the other's limits, but Mayweather's game plan never wavered. He dictated the pace, capitalized on openings, and demonstrated why boxing purists revere his ring IQ. When the final bell rang, Mayweather's unanimous decision was more than a win. It was a blueprint in defense, a lesson in patience, and a statement that power alone cannot topple perfect technique.
I was looking at Manny, and the guy is like to my chin almost, maybe a little bit taller than my chin. I'm like, there's no way that this guy can beat me. No way.
The MGM Grand on May 7th, 2011 transformed into chaotic warfare when Mosley faced Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao stormed the ring like a ballistic missile, his southpaw angles and hand speed creating a blur of flesh and leather. He opened the bout by inundating Mosley with 3- and 4-punch combos that landed at subconscious speed. Mosley, accustomed to being the aggressor, instead found himself on the back foot, scrambling to block haymakers from a challenger half his age. He had to reset his approach, parrying blows with forearms and jabs, occasionally ducking under hooks to fire back with stinging counters.
So I get into the ring with Manny Pacquiao. It's not like he's hard to hit. Like he's not easy to hit, but he's not hard to hit. When I want to, I can throw a little jab or a right hand.
As the rounds wore on, Pacquiao's punches carried extra torque, his rotation whipping his hips like a tornado funnel. Body shots buckled Mosley's knees and slowed his footwork, turning once fluid movement into labored steps. Yet in moments of respite, Mosley showed veteran guile, targeting Pacquiao's midsection with sharp, twisting hooks designed to sap his legs. He landed enough to make Pacquiao pause, a testament to Mosley's heart and timing. Still, Pacquiao's relentless pace and volume punching eventually tipped the scales. Despite a debatable knockdown and Mosley's grit, the judges saw Pacquiao's dominance in punch count, power, and speed. Their unanimous decision victory cemented Pacquiao's reputation as an unstoppable.
You know, they was thinking, you know, Canelo's gonna beat me, and I was like, man, this little kid can't beat me. I got too much experience, man.
By May 4th, 2012, Shane Mosley had faced generations of talent. Yet Canelo Alvarez represented something new. Youth fused with genetic power and unwavering confidence. The 21-year-old Mexican star marched into Mosley's domain with a steely gaze and a body honed for punishment. From round 1, Canelo applied forward pressure, stalking Mosley with measured steps, popping jabs that snapped Mosley's head like a windshield wiper. Mosley, now 40, tried to use his lateral movement and veteran savvy to avoid an all-out brawl. He circled, pivoted, and dipped under hooks, firing off counters to remind everyone that experience still mattered.
He's that
Irish kid.
Yeah, the Irish. He's not gonna come. He can't beat me, right? So, and
Canelo weathered those counters and grew more aggressive. His right cross sliced through gloves, his uppercuts surfaced from tight spaces, and his body shots came with mule kick force. Mosley's arms trembled as each blow landed, each thud echoing in the arena. When Mosley did find openings, rare glimpses of the old sugar finesse, Canelo absorbed the sting with an uncanny poker face, then pounced with double-barreled responses. By mid-fight, Mosley was grabbing and clinching, trying to slow Canelo's rhythm. Even then, Canelo stayed composed, twisting Mosley's torso with underhooks before unleashing explosive breakaway punches. The final bell saw Mosley upright but drained, his frame bearing the battle scars of youth's onslaught. Canelo's unanimous decision showcased his maturation into a complete fighter, strong, savvy, and impossibly durable.
with a good body shot, I'm not sure what round it was. I was like, I'm not going down. I don't care what he does.
After all 4 wars, the chant echoed, "Who was toughest?" Mosley's praise for each rival reads like a highlight reel. De La Hoya's tactical brilliance, Mayweather's defensive wizardry, Canelo's raw force. Yet time and again, he pointed at one name above all, Manny Pacquiao. Mosley explained that no opponent combined blistering speed, compact power, and ceaseless aggression like Pacquiao. Against each fighter, Mosley found a strategy, an answer, a way to push back. Pacquiao offered none of it, only a hurricane of fists that refused to abate.
I just kept going to, but you know, that body shot is killer. He has a killer left body shot. And you know, I was kind of surprised by him.
Before a single gloved fist met leather in the spotlight, Shane Mosley endured a world few fans witness. The crucible of fight camp. 6 days a week, he rose before dawn, his body still heavy with sleep, only to chase miles on unforgiving pavement. Each run sharpened his engine, forcing lung capacity to expand until every breath felt like pure oxygen coursing through steel. After breakfast, meager portions of protein, greens, and complex carbs, he'd dive into pad work so intense that sweat blurred vision and elbows throbbed with every hook. Yet even that was merely warm-up.
So he's pretty well-rounded for a fighter, you know, a young fighter like that. I was trying little tricks with him. And
Next came sparring sessions designed to simulate each opponent's nightmare style. To prepare for Pacquiao's hurricane onslaught, Mosley faced southpaws whose fists whistled past his guard like arrows. For Mayweather's defensive wizardry, coaches would drill feints so subtle that Mosley had to train his instincts to trigger counters in a split second. And for Canelo's raw force and De La Hoya's timing, he alternated partners to deliver body shots that felt like jackhammers. After rounds of this, bruises and welts appeared across his ribs, ribs that still bore the memory of punches from earlier wars.
I haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?
I got been in the Bones gym working out with the kids. Been training with you know.
The brutal choreography of camp did more than hone skills. It tested resolve. When shoulders screamed from mitt drills and shins throbbed from round after round of pad impact, Mosley relied on mental toughness to push past limits. At times, he'd slump on a corner stool, arms dangling, gaze fixed on the canvas, wondering if his body would simply give out. But camp was a promise. Endure today's pain and tomorrow's gleam would shine brighter under arena lights. That promise became his fuel, turning exhaustion into focus and fear into determination.
You know, working with Shane and you know, I'm up in Big Bear, just kind of, you know,
Doing your thing.
Did my thing, yeah.
I was with you in Big Bear. It's fun.
Diet played its own savage role. Mosley's culinary world shrank to lean proteins and fibrous vegetables, while sweetness and fat became forbidden temptations. Yet even the strictest regimen could not erase the ache in his joints or the soreness in his hips after endless rounds of sparring. Nutritionists monitored his every meal, but it was Mosley's iron will that kept him from sneaking a forbidden bite or skipping a morning run. In camp, discipline reigned supreme, and Mosley learned that victories are first won at dawn, long before fans file into seats.
I was with you in Big Bear. It's funny. I came to interview Jake Paul. You were coaching him. Then I went to Bones Gym. Jake Paul was there.
Recovery rituals balanced the brutal grind. Ice baths numbed swollen muscles, while masseurs applied knuckle-to-bone pressure to unravel knots. A deep tissue massage could feel as painful as sparring, but it unlocked mobility and prevented lingering injuries. Mosley also embraced yoga and meditation, linking breath control to ring composure. Those quiet moments of stretching and silence forged mental resilience so that when the bell rang, he moved with both brutality and calm, a blend sharpened by camp's extremes. By fight week, Mosley emerged from camp transformed. Weeks of punishing workouts left him peaked physically, but also emotionally primed, an edge many opponents underestimated. His training ground had been a battlefield where doubt and pain tried to shackle him, yet each trial reinforced his identity as a warrior. When lights illuminated the arena and the crowd's roar crashed like waves, Mosley stood ready, camp's fire still burning hot beneath his skin.
Floyd Mayweather, though, is a legendary athlete. What makes a legendary athlete is the one who wants to compete. He's notorious for dodging.
Between exchanges of thunderous hooks and lightning jabs, there exists a pocket of silence where a fighter's true character reveals itself. Mosley described discovered this truth every time he cooled his gloves in the corner. As cuts were swabbed and towels wiped sweat from his brow, his mind raced through the first minute of the previous round, dissecting mistakes and recognizing openings. Trainers barked instructions. Keep the head moving. Fire that left hand. Control the distance. Each note etched deeper into Mosley's ring IQ, shaping real-time adaptation.
Fights when they should happen.
Floyd is so afraid to lose. He grew up in a different era. In the era that I grew up in.
Those corner exchanges were more than tactical briefings. They were brief mental respites. Mosley used that pause to recenter his breathing, to imagine his opponent's next move, and to draw upon well-worn fight camp memories. When De La Hoya regained his stance, Mosley recalled slipping sparring shots in camp and countering with precise bodywork. Against Mayweather's elusive guard, he visualized drills learned under flickering gym lights. In those seconds of quiet, he built his next assault, brick by brick.
He would wait till the guys would be at the right time or weight or age or whatever.
Even championship rounds carried surprising stillness. As second hands ticked down, adrenaline tempered with exhaustion, nerves threatened to fray. Mosley felt every bead of sweat freeze on his skin, heard his heart hammer against ribs. Yet in that midday hush, he harnessed calm like a weapon. By channeling focus into a single point of attack, be it a straight right or a looping left hook, he reminded himself he still controlled the fight. That shift from chaos to clarity often turned the tide, catching opponents off guard.
The hit, and with both guys, with Mayweather and with Pacquiao, I was injured. I was injured with Mayweather with my groin. I was injured with Pacquiao with my Achilles. I popped my Achilles.
Beyond the corner, the ring ropes themselves whispered secrets. Mosley learned to read their flex as he leaned in, using them to spring off for counterpunches or to absorb impact on body shots. The canvas, too, told him when he was off balance, forcing instantaneous corrections to avoid a knockdown. Skilled fighters respect these silent cues. For Mosley, each subtle bounce or slide underfoot added another layer to his intuition. In a sport of outright violence, these whispered lessons defined who endured and who folded.
He wasn't falling for anything. He was blocking, catching, and coming back really good. I was like, this is a good fighter. Yeah, he's gonna be.
But the quiet also carried doubt. Late rounds against Pacquiao and Canelo tested Mosley's belief in his own durability. In those isolated moments, standalone seconds when the world narrowed to two men and a referee, Mosley confronted the reality of aging bones and slowing reflexes. Could he still trade with the young phenom? Was his chin steel or just rusted metal? He answered those questions in the next exchange, his silence fueling an explosive reply.
And it was who was the best, and I will fight anybody that doesn't matter who's in my way.
Right.
Floyd's era, when he created.
By fight's end, Mosley's mastery of silence became as critical as his mastery of noise. He balanced fury with patience, violence with poise, turning every quiet breath into the precursor for his next storm. This alchemy between roar and whisper defined Mosley's artistry, making him more than just a brawler. He was chess incarnate in trunks and gloves.
A little bit, maybe a little better, but Floyd was the better fighter out of all of them. And Pacquiao was good too, with the fast hands, stuff like that, but he was easy to hit.
When the final bell tolled and judges' scorecards unfolded, Mosley's battles echoed far beyond the ring. Each war carved fresh notches into his legend, but it was the toughest fight, the one against Manny Pacquiao, that resonated most deeply. In its wake, Mosley reevaluated his entire career, recognizing that true greatness emerges when sheer will meets supreme challenge. He acknowledged publicly that no opponent before or since had tested him so completely in speed, power, and relentless pressure.
Like, this is the bouncing, boom, it does the 1-2. I fall down, I'm like, wow, that didn't seem that hard.
In post-fight press tours, Mosley spoke with candor about that night. He praised Pacquiao's machine gun fists and lauded the Filipino star's work ethic. Rather than conceal bruises, he displayed them as badges of honor, a testament to surviving the storm. Interviews revealed a humbled warrior, one who understood that legacy rarely rests on victory alone, but rather on the willingness to face the impossible. By saying Pacquiao was the toughest, Mosley immortalized the fight as his defining moment. In the years following, Mosley transitioned roles within boxing, trainer, mentor, gym founder, imparting lessons learned from that grueling night. He taught fighters that speed can blind, power can overwhelm, and only unyielding heart can bridge the gap. His curriculum emphasized not just physical drills, but psychological toughness, embracing fear, thriving under pressure, and respecting every opponent's unique threat. Through these teachings, Mosley ensured his encounter with Pacquiao remained alive, shaping champions yet to come.
Touch him. So I said, okay, now we're in the second round, I believe. All right, now I'm gonna, hit him with the right hand, see how he reacts to the right hand. Set it up, line him up. I get ready to throw it, and I see him like this.
Today, Shane Mosley's legacy stands on two pillars: his victories over all-time greats, and his willingness to declare defeat at the hands of greatness greater still. By naming Pacquiao the toughest opponent, he captured boxing's eternal truth, that true legends are forged not only in triumph, but also in the test of facing a superior storm and emerging battle-scarred but unbroken. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Mosley's journey, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment sharing which fight you'd relive in person. We'll see you in the next round of boxing breakdowns, right here, where every punch tells a story.